Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Constance the Reader, and you're a little bit closer to me than usual. You're on my desk now. The lighting is just not that good, and it's kind of late in the day, so a little bit closer than we're used to, and that's fine. So happy new year. It is the 1st of January. I'm so excited. I've got some great plans for this year. I really plan on having a better attitude in general. But since it's the 1st of the year, I figured let's go ahead and do a December wrap up. So I had a great reading month in December. I read a total of 30 books. They were mostly manga, but they were really awesome, I have to say. My yearly goal for 2022 was 200 books, and I ended the year reading 267. So I'm very proud of myself. I will go ahead and say that like my reading goal, it's going to be 200 books again, because I mean, I did it and I exceeded it. I think there's a good chance that I will be able to read 200, and I do plan on being better about updating StoryGraph. So if we're not friends on there yet, follow me because I will be doing more on there. But let's get into the books I read for December. So one of the first, well, not one of the first books I read, but one of the books I read was Murder Below the Mistletoe by Kaz Delaney. This was a book that my mom chose for our family book club. I rated that 3.5 stars. It was pretty good. It was a cozy mystery. My mom ended up picking the 4th book in the series because it was Christmas themed, and we kind of wanted to kind of, you know, have a little thing going on. I just felt like we couldn't pass up the Christmas theme during Christmas time. So, you know, if you've never read a series that's a cozy mystery, they'll get you up to speed pretty well. But, you know, obviously there's a few things missing. It was a decent read because it was enjoyable. I really haven't read a cozy mystery that I absolutely hated, but you're missing a little bit, and I'm missing a little bit of context of like who the characters are. She references someone who's actually not in the story, and she just keeps bringing this person up. That's okay. I knew that, like, I'm reading the 4th book in the series, but also the whole crime in general was kind of convoluted, and it just didn't really make any sense. So Rosie Hart is the main character. She's been invited to a wedding from like a very distant like classmate, not even like a good friend that she just hasn't caught up with in a while. She is constantly wondering what the fuck she's doing here, why she was invited in the first place, because she doesn't know anyone except for the bride. People start acting kind of funky. It's a beautiful venue though. But somebody ends up dead, and it starts seeming like someone was trying to kill someone else. And that's how the story unfolds. Who's the real killer? It was definitely a fun, comforting read, but the reason why she was invited and everything was just so ridiculous. Like, it didn't make any sense. The next book I listened to was In the Event by Courtney Kay. I rated that 4 stars. So I listened to this on a whim. I wanted to read something else that was like Christmas themed. And this was free on Hoopla, and it was an amazing audiobook. Of course, I cannot remember anybody's name, but it is a sapphic romance, and it's a romance, and it did get a little spicy. I wasn't expecting that. It's about a woman who works as an events planner, like in California. She is pretty successful. She's wanting to get a promotion, but the night before, like, things should be announced, she genuinely accidentally hooks up with the groom of the like wedding that they're planning. Obviously, we're gonna have to cancel that, and we're gonna have to lay low. She is asked to host an event back in her hometown. I didn't really understand where it was because I think it was still in California, but I guess like where it snows in California, somewhere up north. She's apprehensive because she had such a bad experience last time she was there. She's kind of estranged from her father. But with this happening, she's like, well, I need some money and I need to get my name out there. I need to work. What she finds out is someone from her past is the one that invited her to come back for this event. And she's kind of confronted with her past and these people who she had a lot of love for, but had a falling out with. I thought it was really good in terms of the relationships. It was very sweet. I liked the people that I met. I don't even know if this is going to be like an ongoing series, but if it is, I would definitely read it. Or if like it picks up with a different couple within this little like mountain snowy community, that would be so cute. I felt like the main character was kind of unlikable. She was a little annoying. She was constant. I mean, at this point, she's so much older and she has all of this like unpacked baggage where it's like, okay, if you would just communicate with your words, you would not be in half of the problems that you're in. That was like my biggest issue with her, was that she just constantly was like, people don't want me. And if anybody makes a comment that seems like they're kind of pushing her away, she just shuts down and she's like, I'm gonna go. Ridiculous. But overall, I liked the romance. I liked the relationship that the two female characters had in the beginning. It was awesome. I loved the friends. I loved her relationship with family, and then the backstory we get. And it wasn't just the reason why she had a falling out with someone was not just some petty thing, but it kind of came all the way back to like, if we had just communicated, we wouldn't have been in the situation. But it was very lovely. I would absolutely recommend it, especially as like a Christmassy book. But it was more like it's a book that takes place during Christmas, not like necessarily like a Christmas romance. And I like that about that. Next, I read Iron Widow by Shirin J. Zhao. I think that's how you pronounce her name. This was fantastic. I rated this 5 stars. I've had this, I got this as a gift, I think last year for Christmas. I've been waiting to read it. I don't know what possessed me to read it, but I decided to pick it up. And then weirdly, like a bunch of people that I follow also started reading it this month, or they had read it in November. So good. I cannot wait for the second book in the series. I'm not sure if it's a duology or if it's a trilogy. Either way, I think it's going to be fantastic. You are, okay, I don't want to go into a tangent, so let me read the inside so I don't butcher anything. Okay, now, these are traditional, like, pronunciations. I'm going to try really hard to pronounce them correctly. I even went so far as to look these up online before, and the author also has a TikTok, and I have listened to that consistently, but I feel like I'm going to mess up, so I apologize. I'm gonna do my best though. Now this one I know I can't pronounce because I was pronouncing it the wrong way the whole time, but I was looking at it, like reading it how I saw it. In Hoxia, I don't think that's how you pronounce that. I'm sorry. The highest honor for a young girl is to be selected as a concubine pilot. Supporters paired up with male pilots to power up a chrysalis, the giant transforming mechas that humanity relies on to battle the massive aliens that lurk beyond the Great Wall. But the honor often ends in death, and when 18-year-old Ziqian's sister is killed by an ace male pilot, Ziqian signs up to avenge her. The vengeance is swift and brutal and unexpected, leaving her labeled as an Iron Widow, a much feared kind of female pilot who can sacrifice boys to power up the chrysalises instead of the other way around. To tame her unnerving yet invaluable mental strength, she is paired with Li Shimin, the strongest and most controversial male pilot in Hoxia. But now that Ziqian has had a taste of power, she will not cower so easily. She will miss no opportunity to leverage her and his combined might and infamy and survive attempt after attempt on her life until she can figure out exactly why the pilot system relies so heavily on destroying a girl's lives and dismantle it for good. Fantastic book. I'm not kidding. The main character, Ziqian, I love her. Okay, she's my girl. I'm all about her. She is determined, as it said, to understand why within these like big mecha, you know, robot fighting chrysalises, there's a yin and a yang seat, and it's all like a mental, like the man and the woman are paired based on their like mental power, you know, their aura, so on and so forth. And they're supposed to be working together, but the man always overpowers the woman, which ends up killing her. And her, as it said, her sister was volunteered to do this. She ended up dying. She is determined to figure out why is it that women are always constantly dying. She does kind of figure out why by the end of the book. And I had a feeling that's what it was, but that was not disappointing to have, you know, figured that out early on. The romance in this, it's not really like there is a romance per se. She meets someone before she becomes the Iron Widow, and that relationship I loved so much. And then the kind of poly-esque relationship that evolves in this book, I really, really liked it. I love the fact that she did what she did with the relationships in this book. I love the characters. I love that the characters are comfortable enough to show affection And it doesn't even have to be sexual. It literally is just, what's the right word? I mean, it's just affection. It's just, you know, even just simply holding someone's hand doesn't have to be sexual. It's just comforting. And I don't know, it was just so good. It definitely had me on the edge of my seat. There was a double cross I didn't see coming. I cannot wait for the next book. Oh, Heavenly something. Oh man, I can't remember the name. I'll put the picture on the screen, but that is an anticipated read that I have for 2023 that I cannot wait to read. I would absolutely recommend this because it was a 5-star read in my opinion. That's for me. Next, I pretty much read all 10 volumes, even though it's not just 10 volumes in the series. There's a few more, but I read the first 10 volumes of Call of the Night. I really like that series. I'm not going to read it because it's not done. As I've mentioned, I think in my like last video, best books of the year, the thing I liked about it was the female vampires that you meet. I really did not like the age gap that the creator made. The main male character does not need to be 14. He could easily be 21, 19 at the youngest, but I think 21 is like would have been the perfect age for him to be. I don't understand why we had to do that, because even though Nazuna looks like she's his age, she's been a vampire for 30 years. So she's 30 plus years old. So there's no reason why she needs to be with a 14-year-old. It's annoying, but you know, what the fuck else do you expect? So overall though, I like the story. I thought it was really, really interesting. We have a vampire hunter, somebody that's coming after these female vampires, somebody knows how to kill vampires, and of course, they're like immortal-ish, you know, so that was really awesome. I read Hell's Paradise Volume 1, so I've heard nothing but good things about this series. Anybody that's read it to completion really, really likes it and highly recommends it. This is a pretty dark work, in my opinion, because, I mean, there's a little bit of body horror, in my opinion. Basically, this kingdom, I guess you could say, is trying to conquer this island that doesn't seem to be inhabited by other humans, but there's some type of parasitic thing that when they have sent people to try to find, you know, the elixir of life, they either don't come back or they come back having sprouted like roots and flowers and stuff from them, and then they eventually die. So what the kingdom does is they get like a dozen or so criminals, and they are basically going to say, we're going to have you guys go to this island. If you make it out, you won't be a criminal anymore. We'll let you go free. And this main character, Gabimaru, is pretty sick, really awesome. Definitely feel like we're going to see more about this character because it seems kind of surface level in the beginning, but as, you know, his handler starts to get to know him more, there definitely seems to be more to him than that. But this is definitely bloody, gory. I'm interested to see where the story goes. I assume it's going to take place on this island for the entirety of the story. So it'll be interesting if they ever find the elixir of life. But at the very end, there's some monsters popping up and they're frightening. Pretty scary if you ask me. I also, didn't mean to drop that. Also finally started back on One Piece. So I read volume 33. This seems to be like, I don't want to say a filler, but like kind of like a throwaway storyline. I'm not sure. They're kind of playing Davy something back. Damn, I can't remember now. Basically, they've left the Sky Island. They're making their way, and they run into like a band of other pirates. So it's interesting. It was good. Obviously, I'm into the second box set, so there's not much to say. And then I read the whole, like the entirety of the second Bleach box set. Now, granted, I read volumes 33 through 48 this month, but in 2 months, I finished, not even 2 months, I think it was a month and a half, I finished the whole thing. Look at me. So technically, I read 15 volumes of the second box set in December, and that is the bulk, you know. So I read, what, right off the bat, 25 books, 25 volumes of manga, and that's just Call of the Night and Bleach. Insane. Insane of me, I know. Loved Bleach. Definitely enjoying my read of it. I'm definitely going to jump into the third box set. Probably not this week. I'll give myself a break, but it's good so far. I'm enjoying myself. I like it. Yeah. So yeah, that was my December reading wrap up. Let's just keep it short. I'm excited. I can't wait for y'all to see what I'm going to be doing for my TBR. As I've mentioned, I'm going to do the TBR game. If you follow me on Instagram, you kind of saw me put my cards back together. So yeah, did a whole little thing there. Okay, did a whole little thing, but I'm really excited to get back into this. I'm going to be doing the Pop Sugar Challenge. That's why I think I'll be able to easily like hit the 200 book goal again. I'm excited. I'm excited. So thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, which will be my January TBR. I might do a channels goal video. I'm not really sure yet. It's up in the air. But thank you so much for watching. I hope all of y'all had a great New Year's Eve. I hope we all have a great 2023. I'm looking forward to it. I've got a positive attitude for once. And thank you so much for watching my video. If you liked the video, please like the video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. You know the drill. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.